Welcome everyone, and hello Anastasia.
Hi, Yulia.
How are you?
I'm great.
I'm glad to hear that. My name is Iulia Ipati, and I'm an external hypnoperator and student of the Calogero Grifasi Academy, while my colleague here, Anastasia, she's a support telepath of the Grifasi's method. Today we prepared for you the 272 investigative cycle, protocol number 1. The protocol we are going to make, like as you know, it's defined mixed and it's comprised of two different parts. The first part is a fixed part where we cannot change or deepen the questions, except on the second part, on the exploratory part. All our supports telepaths, they don't know the subject we are conducting on different languages on the academy, Grifasi's academy. So we have the information contaminated as little as possible. Anyone who wants to have a session, a personal session with me and one of my colleagues, support telepaths, can contact me at my email, juliaregressivehypnosis@gmail.com, and can find all the information about me, how to reach me, on the description of this video below. Now, Anastasia, we can get ready and prepare to go into the hypnotic state. Now we'll start with 3 breaths together. I will count from 1 to 3. And on 3, you'll connect with Pope Francis, decode his etheric DNA, and reconstruct his original form. 1, 2, 3.
Um, I had kind of like a duality of images. The first one that I saw is some sort of reptilian hybrid, um, but I perceived it. Um, it's kind of like hmm, the persona of the Pope is somewhere in like 50% reptilian, but I also perceived a part that was like a clone. So the message that the one that we see now is not the one that was at a certain point. So that's why I said duality.
Mhm. Very well. Do you perceive something else?
Um, it's like that persona of the Pope is controlled by that reptilian presence that I perceived.
Mhm.
And that's it for
Okay,
now.
very well. Pope Francis is Jorge Maria Bergoglio and was elected on 13 March 2013. Observe his ethnic DNA before and after he was elected as the Pope.
When you said the date, I perceived like an image of a stamp being like pushed into something,
Mhm.
and on the other side of the stamp, I perceived it as being pushed into like his DNA. It was a prescribed, almost premeditated moment. Um, it was like um, a change of uh, temporal lines for his persona,
Mhm.
um, and his DNA shifted um, before this election. Hmm. I'm perceiving remains, like literal remains of his um, will, of his subliminal part. Uh, but after, it was like almost a shadow being put upon.
Mhm.
It was like some type of um, final agreement or something like that. He reached a point of a point of mm, terms in a contract, by a certain date, that and that will happen.
Mhm. Yes.
That's it for now.
Okay. Observe from the energetic point of view the geopolitical relations of Pope Francis during his papacy. What do you perceive about it?
Hmm. Um, I'm perceiving like um, him almost being an important point of influence in the energetical level,
Mhm.
but it spreads. It's almost like part of an ecosystem that is connected by some type of energetical vines in the metaphysical. Um, that is part of kind of the same group of influence.
Mhm.
Um, Trying to understand how to describe it better. Um, can you repeat the
I
question again?
I'll do it.
Hmm.
Observe from the energetic point of view the geopolitical relations of Pope Francis during his papacy. What do you perceive about it?
Now I'm perceiving that stamp again.
Mhm.
That is almost like making marks on a map, but I'm seeing it from a metaphysical level, and it's almost like putting his signature
Mhm.
on different spots. It's all part of some type of plan, contract, something that has to do with levels and um, steps to be taken.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, it's the influence is at a pretty significant level,
Mhm.
but that's it for now. I think it
Okay,
needs more.
very well. We'll go to it after. Investigate all subliminal conditions related to the accusation saying that Pope Francis is the anti-pope. What do you perceive?
Hmm. Uh, the first one that came is fear, but fear in a way of um, hmm, fear of control, fear of being controlled,
Mhm.
but it's really just a mask for some emotional turmoil
Mhm.
that is happening in the person, And it's also hmm, it's also like the feeling of not being ready uh, to really perceive what is shown to you as the thing that it is in its truest form. But the main thing is that turmoil that later shows itself in different forms.
Mhm. Okay. Do you perceive anything else?
For now, no.
Okay, very well. The official media state that since 14 February 2025, Pope Francis has been in a hospital due to a bilateral pneumonia. Connect with his state of health today, Friday, February 28, 2025, 3:15 p.m. and on three, tell me what you perceive. One, two, three.
I perceive him as in a state of dissociation, almost his physical body. I perceive an image of him with his eyes wide open while someone is doing a procedure on his abdomen or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like his mind is disconnected. It's like he's looking into a blank and he's not really looking at something. It's like turning off a machine or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
a state of unconsciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like his body does not belong to him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like a process of reparations that is happening, of mm, updating not updating, polishing in a way or bettering the, comes to me as implants.
Mm-hmm.
But the implant part is more on the metaphysical level. Mm, yeah, it's like the access that the people from the physical level have on his body is connected to the access on the metaphysical, and while the procedure is being done in the physical, something else is happening in the metaphysical, the one with the implants.
Okay. Okay. Go to the moment when Pope Francis dies and tell me what you perceive in relation to the metaphysical level.
Mm. I'm perceiving some sort of recycling.
Mm-hmm.
It's like um, he signed up for this, and it's almost like he already knows what's the next step, or what he was told initially that are gonna be the next steps. And it's basically reincarnating in some type of cycle, or again in some type of role that can be controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. I just perceived him in the reincarnation
Mm-hmm.
space, and the information came to me about the,
Okay.
yeah.
Very well. And now describe the corresponding physical level in the moment when this Pope dies.
Can you repeat the question? I didn't
Mhm.
quite
Yes.
understand it.
Mhm. So on the question before, it was more the relation on the metaphysical level. And now
Mm-hmm.
I'll repeat this question again. And now describe the corresponding physical level in the moment when this Pope dies on the physical.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Um, the first thing that came to me as important, let's say, is the process of being buried.
Mhm.
So it kind of um, continues this process of being attached to this dimension, to this physical reality, to this material reality, this act of the burial.
Mhm.
So that's something that was also a part of that contract specified. Um, Perceiving a lot of shock from the people. Mm, but that shock was mm, something that was induced by the actions taken before in his living time. Um, Something that was also kind of planned through subliminal messages and circumstances surrounding this Pope. So the effect of his death would also be beneficial uh, for profiting off of the energy of the people
Mm.
reacting to this moment.
Okay, very well. And the last question. On three, observe the future of the Catholic Church after the death of Pope Francis. One, two, three.
Hmm. I'm perceiving an image of inside of a church, and it's like rats coming out of a hole and spreading across the floor of the church. And I'm perceiving it as a metaphor
Mm-hmm.
for a certain amount of dirt, if I can say it like that, come out to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
So some type of break that happens, and there is information that comes to the surface. Can be from his time of life, of being alive, related to him, to the Pope, or
Mm-hmm.
in general of the acts of the church that are happening or happened, or something that was speculated about that comes out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you perceive anything else? We can.
For now, no.
Okay. So we finished the fixed part. So you said that after his death, you saw, was it as a metaphor that rats were coming out of the
Yeah.
church?
Hmm.
Um, what these rats represent at my tree? One, two, three.
Like little secrets or even big secrets
Mm-hmm.
that um, that are kind of taking to the public, information, public consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
um, but not in a voluntary way. It's almost like a slip that
Mm-hmm.
happens, a little crack in the plan, um, something that has to do with um, it's like energies in the metaphysical and in the physical. It's like um, they're trying to go against mm, the natural flow of Earth, of its vibrations, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost like these energies collided and a slip happened, and a slip like this can happen at another event that is uh, heavily energetically
Mm-hmm.
charged. So that's what it is, as I'm perceiving it.
You mentioned that it's a crack in the plan. What kind of plan is that?
Um, a plan of maintaining, but also spreading continuously the not even the church agenda, the religion agenda. Um, yeah, so at this point, it's like not only trying to get more people under the umbrella of religion, but also trying to, how do I say, manipulate kind of the information so people don't slip out of
Mm-hmm.
that umbrella.
Is it like hypnosis state?
In some cases, yes. When you said that, I had an image of, again, inside of a church
Mm-hmm.
and the prayers that they
Mm-hmm.
do, kind of
Okay.
everyone together.
Yes.
That has some sort of controlling, mm, under layer.
Are these prayers together like chant? Is it like chanting, using chanting, loud chanting, and the words together they create something?
Yes. Um, what I'm perceiving now is almost like the feature when you talk and something
Mm-hmm.
is transcribing the text for you. So what I'm seeing is these words being spoken in the physical, and it's almost like something is writing itself in the metaphysical.
Mm-hmm.
It's like command, those words that are being said, those prayers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's, hmm, it's like almost adding layers to the subliminal parts that are involved in this.
Mm-hmm. What kind of layers do you perceive?
The word pollution came to me.
Mm-hmm.
Pollution layers, something that does not belong naturally
Mm-hmm.
um, in the space of a subliminal part. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, um, again, takes me back to the image of the stamp, yeah, that I saw,
Mm-hmm.
the DNA of
Yes.
the Pope. It's
Mm-hmm.
like the initial phases of that. Some type of control, um, that leads to, in some cases, to mental control,
Mm-hmm.
um, those type of things.
It's like pollution of mind, can say.
Yes, it can be the
Uh-huh.
pollution of all the bodies or something in particular. I see it sticking to something that is already kind of out of harmony in the subliminal part. So it can be the emotional body or the sexual body, and it sticks to that part, to the more condensed part.
Mhm. So those one of the bodies have to be kind of unbalanced in order to be that effective.
Yes, I see it having more potential. And as I said, that I saw like people who um, say those prayers in a group, in the
Mhm.
church,
Yes.
and I see some of them having like this extreme pain or desperation or those type of feelings.
Physical pain. Hmm.
Yes, but
Okay.
physical and emotional, it can be
Okay.
both.
Okay.
um yes, but it just creates this uh imbalance,
Hmm.
in the
The
bodies, in the
bodies.
energetical bodies,
Yes.
and it mm, kind of attracts that pollution layer by
Hmm.
itself almost.
Uh, those prayers, where do they go? Who receives those prayers? Kind of general. Let's go to that group. You picture that group, yeah, praying.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where those prayers go. They are going. The metaphysical at my tree. One, two, three.
Mm. I'm perceiving an image of there's multiple places where it goes, but the one that stuck out to me
Mm-hmm.
is um, uh, those prayers kind of giving or energizing the artificial um, pre-incarnation spaces that are made for some subliminal parts. And initially, I saw the connection between some people that are praying for their family members that passed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like the energy and the message from these prayers are going to that artificial pre incarnation space and giving the power and the opportunity to the entities that are managing that space to further manipulate the subliminal parts. Some
Mm-hmm.
type of circuit that is energizing for them and is specifically, designed to suck that energy out of those prayers and in some cases use it as a showcase to show the subliminal parts that, oh, look, they miss you, they
Okay.
whatever message, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to go back.
To them. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of they use it as a trap, using their relatives or the one remained on the physical plane
Mm-hmm.
to get them trapped into the reincarnation cycle again.
Yes, it's almost like a battery for those spaces.
Uh, Kind of reincarnating with their own condition, not the subliminal parts conditions. Um, what kind of entities? What do you perceive? Which one are those? That reincarnation space office. What do you perceive?
Mm. I'm perceiving multiple spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And it varies on kind of mm, the subliminal conditions that the person had
Mm-hmm.
in his last life. just the previous one.
Okay.
The first space that I saw is managed by humanoids,
Mm.
and I saw a connection to the mental bodies. So they attract a specific kind of subliminal parts that had an issue with their mental body in their previous life.
Mm.
So they are kind of um, how do I say it? Hmm. It's something in their sphere of interest, the mental body, so they can create scenarios. They create scenarios that are um, um, how do I say it? Easy to present to someone that is
Mhm.
already vulnerable in that
Mhm. Mhm.
compartment.
Like they believe in that scenario, and kind of they are co-creating, or they are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Mhm.
So they have the connection to the mental body, and then another space that I saw, the
Mhm.
reptilians that are uh, kind of more into the sexual body and the
Mhm.
emotional, but more with an accent on sexual, but they're
Mhm.
both
Mhm.
kind of. And in that case, I perceived people who had been through physical abuse, um, that
Mhm.
type of scenarios in their
Mhm.
previous life,
Mhm.
and who hadn't um, processed them or integrated them,
Mhm.
unhealed things.
Okay. Okay. Do you perceive another space? Those are like kind of the big ones, because I believe I might be subspaces and all that.
Yeah, I perceive there are a lot of them, but another one that came to me is mm, kind of hmm, a bigger one, but with subliminal parts that um, have had implants for a long time, like for multiple
Mhm.
lives. Uh, it's giving the kind of the visual of a friends hangout. So they all think they're friends and they're doing it together and they're all there for each other. Kind
Mhm.
of that type of scenario. But it's artificial and it's not really the truth,
Mhm.
but they can't really see it.
Mhm. Is there a space where they are not present, those entities, or
Yes.
a clean space? Is it?
Yes, yes, a lot of them. This the ones that I said is artificial spaces created by them to
Oh, so that
trap the subliminal parts.
so there's a clean space you mean mentioning?
Yes.
So the artificial ones um, are they are creating those artificial spaces, yeah,
Hmm.
which looks like they are clean. Like, no, they have the feeling like it's a clean space. There is nobody there, and they can do their own choice on the next reincarnation.
It depends. These entities present themselves as different things,
Mm-hmm.
different figures. It depends on the, as I said, on the target
Mm-hmm.
audience, if I can say
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there subliminal parts that can make their own? They can have their own conditions on the next reincarnation cycle.
In these artificial spaces or in
On the,
general?
these artificial spaces, on general, artificial. Let's start with artificial.
Hmm. Um, I'm perceiving that yes, a subliminal part can um, happen to be in that pre-incarnation space, with those entities,
Mm-hmm.
and can uh, kind of get a part of their own conditions, but it's still not their full choice. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's still
It's
something
not
that is.
100% their choice, right?
Yes, exactly. Some
Mhm.
subliminal parts perceive that kind of happen to go to those spaces um, can actually get out of those spaces, but it depends on the conscious level of the
Mhm.
subliminal part
So
of
on the
its vibration.
yes.
Hmm.
So on the artificial spaces, they cannot have 100% be their own choice.
Yeah, not really, unless you manage to get out
Hmm. How can you manage to get out?
by remaining solid in your will of choice.
Okay.
Um, just staying on that no,
No.
and it's just really those subliminal parts that are really, how do I say it? They had been through some type of traumatic or those type
Hmm.
of events in their previous lives, but
Hmm.
they've come to a sense of realization and understanding,
Hmm.
so they can kind of slip into that space through those, remaining emotions from the physical level. But once they pass from their physical body, it's like they regain a certain type of control.
Hmm. They have more control on the metaphysical than the physical
Hmm.
because it's all conditioned. Um, so as I understand, I can say those artificial spaces are created by those who are praying for the ones that departed. Can say
Not only,
not
not
only.
only. It was just one example
Okay.
of where the energy of the prayer goes.
Mm-hmm. And about other spaces besides the artificial ones, you said that in general, is there like a space where a subliminal part can go and just put it's his or her own choice of reincarnation conditions?
Yes, and I am perceiving it that it's individual for each one.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not like a universal space. It's individual for each subliminal part.
Mm-hmm.
And they can reincarnate into this physical reality with their
Mm-hmm.
own, wishes, and
Mm-hmm.
choose the life that they want,
Mm-hmm.
their own conditions. Yes.
Mm-hmm. What condition those minimal parts they must have to in order to be able to do have their own choice? What do you perceive? Like it's a general idea, but it's
It's just being aware of your own power. They're like empowered
mm-hmm. Empowered.
presences.
Very well.
They came to a sense of consciousness and of energy that are so aware of themselves.
Mm-hmm. Very well, Anastasia. Disconnect. Okay, let's go back to Pope Francis. We sway a little bit from the subject. You said that his DNA, yeah, is reptilian, hybrid, 50% reptilian,
Hmm.
and that now he's a clone. Um, so, and he was elected on 13th of March 2013. Um, let's how let's see his DNA before being elected at my chart. One, two, three.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
Perceiving now, like a macro level, the strands, and it's 50 reptilian, a tiny bit, like a 10% Draco, and the rest is human. But I'm perceiving that those percentages are a result of an addition in all of his previous lifetimes.
Okay.
They kind of like
So,
accumulated.
mhm. What do you perceive? How many lifetimes he made this happen? His DNA, his complex DNA, you can say.
538.
Wow. Mhm. So you're saying that now, whatever images of him, it's a clone. What happened to his physical body now?
Mm-hmm.
What do you perceive with his physical body as we speak now, as today?
What I perceived about his physical body.
Hmm.
Mm, nothing really special. It's just that thing that I perceived earlier of kind of that lifeless look,
Hmm.
dissociated look, that
Hmm.
turned off.
Hmm. You said that they were like on the physical level, yeah. His body, like his physical body, where do you perceive is it in like a hospital, or you said that let me see. Mm, they were that his mind is disconnected, is unconscious, state of
Mm-hmm.
unconsciousness as today, and they are doing some procedures on him.
Mm-hmm.
What are those? They are that. What are they doing? What do you perceive?
Mm. Oh, when you asked where they are, it's I'm perceiving like a big mansion or something, like a villa,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
an old one. So
Okay.
it's yeah, something of that sort. I'm perceiving like a big room. It's almost empty besides the bed in which he is and the people surrounding him. It's like a dance, those
Mm-hmm.
ballet dance rooms.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Those whole big halls.
yeah,
Yeah.
big hall, yeah, with wooden floors.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're doing, I'm trying to see now. Um, it's like some type of perf. I guess that's the right word. Perfusions,
Perfusion. Okay.
infusions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I guess it's the right
Perfusion.
word.
Yeah. Perfusion.
Yeah, like an IV. I think
IV.
that's a better
Mm-hmm.
word.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's an IV that has something to do with his
Mm-hmm.
brain state. Um, Again, that mind control
Mm-hmm.
state keeps showing itself.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So they were like doing reparation and polishing the implants.
Yeah, in the metaphysical.
The
Hmm.
physical. Are those implants from this life or other lives?
Oh, from multiple lives.
Are they just added? Better.
Um, there are multiple from other lives,
Mm-hmm.
and from this one included. That's like a combination.
Mm-hmm. Is he like aware or what what's going on with this subliminal part of this physical body.
Is the subliminal part aware of what's happening to his
Mm-hmm.
physical?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Um, His subliminal part is not really anymore his not like, first of all, it's not connected to his physical body,
Well,
and
go ahead.
it's hmm, how do I say it? There's not much left of it,
Uh-huh.
of its original form.
I see. When the disconnection happened with the subliminal part from the body.
The number 73 came to me, but I'm trying to understand if it's years
Mm-hmm.
or lives.
Mm-hmm.
But lives more came to me.
Lives.
So 73 lives ago, as I'm
Wow.
perceiving it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's been
Yeah.
like a downgrade,
Mm-hmm.
step by step.
Of his physical body.
Hmm.
You mentioned that is a stamp they used, the condition. Who created this stamp? Like what stamp? What does it say in the contract?
Hmm. Um, I'm perceiving like a previous life of his,
Mm-hmm.
but far, far away in time. And I am seeing that stamp being pressed on a paper. He is a little boy in that life, and I'm perceiving the father who is making that stamp in an
Mm-hmm.
act of hmm, almost like selling him, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, with a purpose of getting something or doing something. It's like um, some type of program that is going on that is testing something on children,
Mm-hmm.
and his father uh, stamped that contract, giving his his not don't have the word, his
Doesn't have.
permission,
Yes.
giving his
Yeah.
permission, yeah. And that was a moment in which um, something happened in the metaphysical level, the kind of the process of going from being just um, surrounded by the entities that interfered his father.
Mm-hmm.
They gained access to the personal space of this child
Mm-hmm.
that he was back then. And that was kind of like a start
Mm-hmm.
of this downgrade in his
Yes.
DNA, because
Mm-hmm.
he was mm, just a baby.
Yeah. So he had like I don't know choice.
Hmm.
So do you perceive that this was a previous life or just one of the many lives he had? What
Oh,
number come to you? Which life before?
176.
Hmm. Okay. So now can say that his physical body is not um I can say available for I mean his physical body being available to the public, kind of, you can say.
Mm-hmm.
It's his clone. And what do you perceive like his death will be kind of made official?
Um, it came to me something like 2 weeks after the real passing,
Uh-huh.
and the date will not be accurate.
Mm-hmm. Can be a different timeline
Mm-hmm.
altogether.
Mm.
Very well, Anastasia. Um, um, who have who wants who wants the Pope to still kind of be alive to the public?
Mm-mm.
You said the group of influence, yeah, the geopolitical relations, yeah.
Mm.
It's the same group of influence. What is
Oh,
this group of influence?
okay. Uh, hmm. Um, Perceiving some type of images that have to do with um, the Jewish religion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's almost like some type of control comes from that part.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just figures that are behind the curtains
Mm-hmm.
in the world. So not like the ones that are we are seeing,
Mm-hmm.
the figures of influence.
Mm-hmm. Those figures, what do you perceive like which part of the world they are like located?
Mm. Um, Multiple parts,
Mm-hmm.
but they have something to do with um, being in control of the biggest companies, if I can
Mm-hmm.
say that. But like,
Corporations.
it's yes, but it's not like the name that we see. It's like the thing behind it. And also, South Africa came to me for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
The oil industry.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I saw. Oil and gas,
Mm-hmm.
like something to do with natural resources
Mm-hmm.
of the earth.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what connection is connection is between these groups, yeah, and the Catholic Church?
It's the ideologies that are spread in the Catholic Church,
Mm-hmm.
the beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
not only the religion beliefs, also the life values that are taught.
Mm-hmm.
That's the connection, and giving uh, that place of kind of seeking help, seeking a solution to the problems that are created by those other people from the group of influence. It's like a sick
Mm-hmm.
game,
Mm-hmm.
you know, giving the problem and the solution at the same time. It's like keeping you
Mm-hmm.
in the same cycle.
Mm-hmm. They give the solution before the problem.
Almost. Yeah, not always, but in a way.
Mm. So it's kind of influencing so-called problems to open more, I can say, doors for them to achieve.
Yeah, in a way.
Okay. Okay, Anastasia, I have one last question. You said that the crack on the plan, what created that crack?
The image that I'm having, and it's more detailed this time, it's like to give a better understanding. It's like two elements that are not compatible trying to
Mm-hmm.
get mixed. The one that is trying to overtake the, I would say it didn't matter for the natural element of the earth or its energy, you know, the vibration, uh, trying to influence too hard to overtake this energy, these entities or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it's creating this polarizing effect. And it's almost like it's pushing against each other, and at certain points it can just snap, you know? It's
Mm-hmm.
like pushing magnets together, and they don't stick if you
Mm-hmm.
put them at the certain
Mm-hmm. And
level.
the opposite
Yeah, exactly.
pole, kind of.
Yeah.
Plus or minus. So
Hmm.
can say that these vibrations kind of they create a crack.
Hmm.
But you perceive what kind of vibration, what comes to you. To name it, you can say it. The vibration.
The vibration on which side?
Mm. On the side that produces the crack.
It's really like a stroke of light type of effect. I don't know if I can describe it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just a blank, like a black hole
Mm-hmm.
that is created. And the thing itself, the crack itself, is like more uh, neutral.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have anything to add before we close our investigation? What you perceived?
No.
Okay. Very well, Anastasia. Disconnect from everything and everyone. Disconnect from the information in this session. Close all the portals that you open. Disconnect from all that you had seen and perceived. Remove any energetic residues and recalibrate yourself energetically. I will count from 1 to 3 and you return to the present in which I'm talking now. 1. You feel your body lighter and lighter, free and easy. You feel good. A wonderful feeling of tranquility and peace flows through your body. Your space is clean. 2. You balance your frequencies to your ideal and optimal value. Feel how your body is charged with strength and energy. You feel good, free, energetic, and strong. You feel very happy. You can move your body, you can move your hands. And 3. You are present and here and now, and you can open your eyes when you are ready.
Hi.
Welcome back, Anastasia.
Hi.
How are you feeling?
Well, great.
That's good. I hope
What an image you have.
it's beautiful, huh? I think I stay most of it in this part, so you don't see it much. Yes, yeah. I hope everybody enjoyed our investigation. I hope it wasn't too confusing. There is so much to cover. For sure, will be another protocol about this subject. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Anastasia, for volunteering this investigation. We will see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Buenos días.
Dzień dobry.
Bienvenidos a este primer vídeo de Disclosure en español y polaco.
Bardzo Was serdecznie witamy na tym nowym wideo, które będzie w języku hiszpańskim i polskim na kanale Disclosures.
Vamos a producir mucho más vídeos en futuro como estos vídeos informativos.
W przyszłości stworzymy dużo więcej takich wideo, które będą Was informowały o różnych rzeczach.
Porque estamos notando que cuanto más se va divulgando este trabajo, estas hipnosis por internet, también cuanto más mala información se está difundiendo.
A to dlatego, że zauważyliśmy, że im więcej wstawiamy sesji z naszymi hipnozami, tym więcej jakby informacji sprzecznych zaczyna się rozprzestrzeniać.
Y entonces hoy vamos a hablar de las sesiones investigativas.
Więc dzisiaj będziemy mówić o sesjach badawczych.
Porque estoy viendo que hay personas que a lo mejor se dedican a una sesión con una persona, se van a algún lugar, preguntan algo y lo poco de información que pueden extraer de una sesión se lo creen como si fuera oro, completamente puro oro.
Bo zauważyłem, że są takie sesje i takie osoby, które robią jedną sesję z jedną osobą na dany temat i kiedy wychodzi tam jakaś informacja, to jest ona odbierana, jakby to było rzeczywiście coś niesamowicie wiarygodnego, jakby to było czyste złoto.
Yo os digo que la sesión así dicha investigativa no existe.
Ja chciałbym Wam powiedzieć, że sesja badawcza tak naprawdę nie istnieje.
Entonces podríais como preguntar, entonces cuando haces una sesión a un cliente y preguntas cosas, ¿por qué preguntas?
Więc mógłbyś mi zadać pytanie, więc skoro robisz jakąś sesję z jakąś osobą i zadajesz jej pytania, to właściwie po co je w ogóle zadajesz?
Sí, sabemos que la información en hipnosis está muy, pero de verdad muy contaminada.
My bardzo dobrze wiemy, że informacja, która wychodzi podczas hipnozy jest niezwykle, ale to niezwykle zanieczyszczona.
Y esa información, así como sale de la hipnosis, no podemos tomarla como conocimiento, como investigación.
Więc takiej informacji, która wychodzi podczas sesji hipnozy, nie bierzemy nigdy jako takiej informacji, która jest rzeczywiście bardzo prawdziwa, zgodna z prawdą i oczywista.
En el caso de sesiones a clientes, la información que sacamos nos sirve por otro objetivo. El objetivo es llegar a la causa de su problema y trabajar.
Te informacje, które uzyskujemy podczas sesji dla klientów, służą nam zupełnie do czegoś innego. Celem jest to, żeby znaleźć przyczynę i pracować nad nią.
Pero ¿qué significa que la información está contaminada? ¿Cuánto está contaminada y por qué?
Ale co to właściwie oznacza informacja zanieczyszczona? Kiedy jest zanieczyszczona i dlaczego jest zanieczyszczona?
Hay que saber que cuando nosotros pedimos una información y nos llega a través de una persona en hipnosis, esta información sale de una fuente, para así decirlo, y atraviesa muchas dimensiones, muchas densidades.
Kiedy prosimy o jakąś informację podczas sesji, to ta informacja, powiedzmy to w ten sposób, pochodzi z jakiegoś źródła, ale w międzyczasie przechodzi przez wiele gęstości i wiele wymiarów.
Y también pasa por conciencias, por inteligencias. Esa información viene atrapada en el éter por varios seres.
Ale ta informacja przechodzi też przez wiele umysłów, wiele świadomości, istnieje w eterze i może być przechwycona również przez wiele bytów.
Estos seres, estas inteligencias, pueden voluntariamente o involuntariamente distorsionarla.
I te byty, te istoty lub świadomości mogą ją zniekształcić świadomie lub nieświadomie.
Y además, la persona que está en hipnosis tiene sus creencias, su mentalidad, sus perspectivas, sus opiniones. Esta estructura mental contamina también esta información.
A co więcej, osoba, która jest w stanie hipnozy, ma swoje własne przekonania, swoje własne wartości i wierzenia, swoją własną mentalność i przez tą właśnie strukturę całą mentalną również może dojść do jeszcze kolejnego zanieczyszczenia.
Y además, si nosotros queremos investigar, por ejemplo, una persona o un ser que no tiene ninguna conexión con el ambiente hipnótico donde estamos trabajando, esta persona puede no autorizar la salida de informaciones de sí mismo.
A co więcej, jeśli połączymy się z jakąś istotą, która absolutnie nie należy do tego środowiska hipnotycznego, w którym pracujemy, taka istota może nie zgodzić się na przekazanie informacji.
Si hay interacción, si hay interferencias entre un ser y otro, es posible que circule información por las conexiones, por los pactos.
Jeśli jest jakaś interferencja między dwoma istotami, to wtedy dzięki tym paktom, albo przez te pakty, przez to połączenie, które istnieje, rzeczywiście wychodzą informacje.
Pero si en aquella sesión en concreto ese ser o esa persona se va a cuestionar y no hay ninguna conexión, es muy improbable que llegue una información autorizada.
Ale jeśli zdarzy się tak, że łączymy się z istotą, która nie ma z tym nic wspólnego, to jest bardzo mało prawdopodobne, że dostaniemy jakąś informację.
Entonces, imaginemos que queremos investigar sobre un personaje famoso de la historia.
No, na przykład wyobraźmy sobie, że chcielibyśmy otrzymać informację o jakiejś osobie niezwykle znanej, historycznej.
Si no tenemos de alguna manera alguna conexión con los elementos del ambiente hipnótico y esta persona, aunque no esté conectada, no autoriza esta información, pues no llega.
Więc jeśli wyobrazimy sobie, że ta osoba nie jest w żaden sposób połączona z tym środowiskiem hipnotycznym, w którym pracujemy, może się tak zdarzyć, że absolutnie nie zezwoli na żadne przekazywanie informacji na swój temat.
Y cuando pasa esto, hay siempre o casi siempre alguna entidad que se aprovecha de la situación.
I kiedy to się dzieje, zazwyczaj pojawia się jakiś byt, który wykorzystuje tę sytuację.
Se puede presentar con la supuesta identidad de la persona o del ser que estamos buscando, o puede de todas formas modificar o inventar una información por su cuenta, por su personal ventaja.
Może zrobić dwie rzeczy. Albo przyjąć, zidentyfikować się z osobą, o której chcemy zrobić tę sesję, przyjąć jej tożsamość, albo zmienić informacje, które chcielibyśmy otrzymać, tak aby to działało na jej korzyść.
Nosotros en sesión a clientes podemos trabajar porque el cliente nos autoriza a trabajar en él en su sesión.
Podczas sesji dla klientów możemy pracować nad takimi informacjami, bo otrzymujemy zgodę na informacje właśnie dzięki temu klientowi.
Y podemos trabajar con sus seres queridos, por ejemplo, o con los seres que interfieren con ella, propio porque hay estas conexiones.
I możemy pracować na przykład z istotami, które kocha ta dana osoba lub z bytami, które w nią ingerują właśnie przez to połączenie, które tam istnieje.
Entonces, hay una gran diferencia entre la sesión a un cliente para solucionar sus problemas y hacer sesiones para investigar.
Dlatego istnieje taka duża różnica między sesjami, które robimy dla klientów, aby rozwiązać ich problemy, i między sesjami takimi poszukiwawczymi, badawczymi.
Por eso digo que no existe una sesión investigativa.
I dlatego właśnie Wam mówię, że nie istnieje coś takiego jak sesja badawcza.
Lo que existe es un protocolo de sesiones de investigación.
To, co istnieje, to pewien protokół sesji badawczych.
Hay que seguir un protocolo y hay que ejecutar unas series de sesiones y con personas diferentes.
Więc trzeba zawsze śledzić ten sam protokół, a jednocześnie wykonać wiele sesji z różnymi osobami.
El protocolo tiene que ser único, unívoco, porque hay que preguntar en un tema las mismas preguntas para ir en la misma dirección.
Ten protokół powinien być zawsze taki sam, ponieważ należy zadawać takie same pytania, tak aby iść zawsze w tym samym kierunku.
Cuanto más está restringido ese espacio de investigación, cuanto más podemos tener más probabilidad de tener buena información.
Im bardziej zawężamy obszar naszych poszukiwań, tym bardziej prawdopodobne będzie, że otrzymamy dobre informacje.
Sí, podemos también aumentar ese espacio, pero tenemos que aumentar proporcionalmente el número de sesiones por hacer.
Możemy oczywiście rozszerzyć ten obszar, ale wtedy będziemy zmuszeni również rozszerzyć ilość tych sesji.
Luego, cuando tenemos una grande serie de sesiones, pero estamos hablando de centenas o hasta de millares de sesiones,
I wtedy mówimy o olbrzymiej liczbie sesji, od setki po tysiące.
tenemos que recoger toda aquella información que es común a todas o a casi todas estas sesiones hechas.
I wtedy musimy pozbierać te informacje, które są wspólne dla wszystkich bądź prawie wszystkich tych sesji.
Esta información común vais a ver que es un porcentaje muy pequeño con respecto a la totalidad de la información.
I zobaczycie, że ta informacja wspólna będzie naprawdę niewielkim odsetkiem tych informacji, które się tam pojawią.
Son pepitas de oro.
To są takie malutkie ziarenka.
Es como si nosotros vamos a un río, vamos a coger este filtro, vamos a coger muchísima arena para recoger solo muy pocas pepitillas de oro.
I można to przyrównać do poszukiwania złota, kiedy filtruje się dno rzeki, zbiera się mnóstwo piasku, a na koniec pojawiają się maleńkie ziarenka złota.
Esa sí que es información de oro.
I to jest właśnie ta informacja złota.
Si hoy podemos decir que hay seres que interfieren bastante con el ser humano y que tienen formas de animales reptiles o de animales a forma de insectos, etcétera, es porque todo esto sale desde que se empezaron las sesiones de hipnosis y hay muchísimas, millares y millares con esta información común.
I jeśli dzisiaj możemy powiedzieć, że są ingerencje, które przybierają formy albo reptilii, albo jakichś insektów, to dlatego, że takie informacje wychodzą od początku naszych sesji hipnotycznych i są wspólne i jest ich tysiące.
Pero si yo digo que en la ciudad de Nueva York en el 1452, en aquel punto, había una casa que vivía un viejo que se llamaba Tom, pues solo en aquella sesión ha salido y cuanto más contaminada puede ser, no lo va a saber nadie.
Ale jeśli chciałabym powiedzieć, przekazać taką informację, że w Nowym Jorku w 1452 roku stał taki a taki dom, w którym mieszkał taki a taki starszy pan o imieniu Tom, to nie mam pojęcia, jak bardzo zanieczyszczona będzie ta informacja.
Así entonces se hace investigación. Es un trabajo muy largo, muy duro y tiene que ser hecho con un protocolo riguroso y severo.
A więc właśnie w taki sposób należy robić sesje badawcze. Jest to proces bardzo długi, ciężki i który wymaga bardzo restrykcyjnego protokołu.
Entonces, por esto que nosotros ya vamos a empezar a hacer ciclos de investigación.
I właśnie dlatego zaczniemy teraz robić takie cykle badawcze.
La estructura del team, que cada vez va creciendo siempre más, y el número de clientes que cada día contactan con nosotros, nos permiten organizar estos ciclos de investigación.
I ponieważ struktura naszego zespołu cały czas się powiększa, a także liczba klientów, którzy kontaktują się z nami każdego dnia, te czynniki pozwalają nam na to, żebyśmy zrobili taki cykl badawczy.
Creo que ya he dicho todo, o casi todo. Eh, Cualquier pregunta podéis escribirla en los comentarios del vídeo o donde sea publicado el vídeo.
Myślę, że powiedziałem wszystko, bądź prawie wszystko, a jeśli macie jakieś pytania, to proszę zadajcie je pod tym wideo.
Gracias por vuestra atención
Dziękujemy za Waszą uwagę.
y gracias a ti, Milena.
Gracias a ti, Kalo. Dziękujemy.
Chao.
Ciao.